You know what you say? Every pro hockey player has a secret. Either they come from an area of Canada or the States or worldwide nobody's ever heard of. Maybe suffered an injury as a child, a bad arm, a bad back, whatever, or basically came from such humble beginnings, it took every cent that their family could scrape together to get them that last hockey camp that drew recognition for them at a higher level. But in this case, a very talented goalie that he didn't play in the NHL but served as a backup for a few games due to injury call-ups in the NHL. He played his whole career, would not say a hidden disability, I don't call it disability, I just call it a situation. Larry Dyck was a IHL star for many years, had a lot of respect amongst the fans, the teams, the officials, but he played his career with only one eye. Now he was legally blind in one eye, was diagnosed at a very young age. Now in a podcast, not say podcast, but a very popular website called NHLBackups.com. It gives information, a little bit of his career. We're also taking information from Internet Hockey Database. And he gave credit to Dyck, and he compiled some information that I think you as a listener should want to hear, because it talks about perseverance in a lot of ways. Now, Mr. Dyck was born in a beautiful Manitoba community of Winkler. Winkler is a very strong literary town. Various storytellers and journalistic efforts come from there. Now, according to published reports, he only had one good eye. Now, he had a decade-plus career in pro hockey after being a solid major junior skater. As a child, he was pronounced legally blind in his left eye. He could only see shadows and bright lights from it. Now, Dyck still became a hockey star and also started in baseball when he was younger, never making any excuses for himself or saying it didn't affect his perception. Dyck said, "I didn't even know until I was older, going to school and had a routine eye check," Dyck said. "I was always playing sports and I just never changed. I don't really think about it. For me, it's all I've ever known. So it seems normal. It's not as if I lost it during my career." Now, at his first NHL training camp for the North Stars, North Stars gave him a powerful corrected lens, as NHL rules required Dyck have two good eyes. His condition led to his lasting hockey nickname, Deadeye Dyck. Now, Dyck was a first-team All-Star in his last season as a junior at WHL. He eventually became undrafted and spent 2 seasons playing for the vaunted University of Manitoba, and he was named to the league's All-Star squad for both campaigns. Now, he signed in the NHL his first contract with Minnesota in '88. Now, played most of that in the minors, but in March '92, the Stars demoted John Casey to the IHL, and Dyck was recalled to take his place on the Stars. Now, Dyck dressed as Darcy Wakaluk's backup for 3 games before Casey was recalled, and he was sent back down. Now, in September '95, the 5'11", 180-pound goalie was signed by the San Jose Sharks to provide them some goaltending depth. Now, in February '86, San Jose lost goalie Wade Flaherty to a bad groin injury, and Larry was recalled to back up the former Devil Chris Terreri during the 2 games it took for Flaherty to recover. Now, Sharks coach Jim Wiley was asked about Dyck's medical condition and said there has never been a fear in the organization's part to put him in net. Wiley said, "There's many a goalie with 2 good eyes who have come in and not played well. It is a human interest story, not only because he's a good goaltender, but obviously what he's had to go through. I've never seen one instance where he could attribute a bad performance or a bad goal to his handicap." Now, Larry, again, a WHL strong player, especially the '85 season, played Regina, Seattle Breakers, and Thunderbirds, on to the University of Manitoba for 2 years, then at Kalamazoo Wings, where he won 37 games in '89 and '90 combined, also played with the Knoxville Checkers of the ECHL. 2 more seasons with Kalamazoo, he won 46 games in the '91-92 campaigns, 2 years. Milwaukee in '03 and '04, 38 wins in 81 games. Then with Kansas City IHL, winning 13, possibly his best statistical season with a .248 average and 1 shutout. Now, he also played with the Mobile Mystics of ECHL in '96. Again, back with the Blades for '96 and '97, 44 wins in 97 games. Central Texas Stampede of the WPHL, 21-12-1, and then back in the IHL with Houston Aeros for 5 games with a 2-1-1 record. Then he wrapped up with the Michigan K-Wings of the IHL. So again, Regina, Seattle, Manitoba, Kalamazoo, Knoxville, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Mobile, I think is Alabama. Correct me if I'm wrong. Central Texas Stampede, Houston Aeros, and Michigan K-Wings. Anyway, 2 stints in the NHL. I think you got paid up and down money. I hope he was well paid, because sitting on the bench, you look at Richard Sevigny in the 1978-79 season, I think you still get that, what do you call it, pro minimum. I hope he did. But you look at the photo, what I'm saying, you would never think this guy was visually impaired, because I'm a visually impaired person. I lost my eyesight. I was legally blind for a short while due to diabetic complications. Got pretty well 90% vision back in both eyes. But boys are boys, I can tell you. It affected my job because I couldn't be a photojournalist anymore. So, I mean, but the depth perception, you compensate. One eye compensates for the other. And, you know, it's pretty weird. I'd rather have a blind goalie who knows the angles than some of the fools I've seen through the years that don't know how to play the angles. You see, anybody can play hockey, but you play at the pro level like he did. Like from, well, technically, University of Manitoba is not the pro level, but is a pro style. And, you know, for a decade, again, he was one of the top minor pro goalies for total wins. And he can play the backup, he can play the starter, again, consistent. In a lot of these games involved empty net goals. Like, he always kept these squads in the contest. But I look at that first season with Regina, 26 starts, 19-7, with 88 save percentage. Always high save percentage, between 87% and 92% on average. But the Houston Aeros, when they come back in the league, in the IHL, boys, he was a big factor for the fan draw. But the IHL of the 1990s, again, I covered that for the whole decade. What a tremendous association that was, when players like Larry to celebrate, and the new teams that come in the NHL had the IHL teams to the squad. By the way, in those games he's rode the bench, these teams went 4-1. So you can see that he had a 4-1 record as a backup but not playing a game. But it would have been interesting to play him for a couple of minutes. That was it's kind of bullshit, isn't it? You know, he serves as a backup. Give him a couple of minutes to play. Do the Mike Keenan. I would have played him. You know, just give the guy, you know, something a hockey card to send home. I mean, he could probably be a pre-rookie for 2 seasons. And again, the opportunities came 4 years in between, and he was there. If you need me, I'm here, and that's what he did. So that's a legend of Larry Dyck. If you like what we're doing with our vintage NHL and IHL podcasts, especially on goaltenders, let us know. And if you have any members of Mr. Dyck, let us know.